My dad, Kayle Browning, got started shooting in sporting clays when he was close to his 30s. He went to this charity shoot and kind of fell in love with it and started shooting from there, and he has won national titles, world titles. I mean, he was a really, really good shooter, still is a really good shooter. He can still beat me, I hate to admit it, but he can. So I grew up just on a shooting range my entire life. My mom would like wheel me around in a stroller and like at shoots and stuff while we went to watch Dad shoot. And I got into it when I was about 8 years old. He would fill up water cans on the bank and let me shoot them with like a BB gun. And I would get to watch like the water come out and explode, or sometimes he'd fill balloons up and they'd pop, and it was just like the coolest thing ever for me. So he started it off like really fun for me. He never like pressured me to do it. He always made it fun to where I was wanting to do it more. And then I like just followed in his footsteps and started in sporting clays. Won a bunch of stuff there, won a bunch of junior stuff. When I switched over to the international games at 14, I was, I think, 3 punches away from master class. So I was pretty young and doing really well in sporting clays. And then switched over to international games because I found out they were in the Olympics. And the Olympics was always like an obsession of mine. We would always watch like gymnastics or ice skating or whatever it was. We just loved to watch the Olympics. So when I found out that shooting was in the Olympics, I was like, that's a no-brainer, like I have to go that route. Like that's what I want to do. Made my first traveling team when I was 15. And my first overseas trip was to Germany. The whole experience was really cool. Being that young and getting to start traveling the world, doing what I loved. And from there, I've set national records, been on national teams, World Cup teams, 2-time Pan American medalist. Me and my teammate just recently set a world record for the team event. I really have my dad to thank for all of that, because he's been my coach the entire time. I mean, I've had advice from, you know, other people like how to start the game and just kind of like fundamentals, but really my dad and I have been the ones that have kind of like figured out what works best for me the whole time, and he's been right there with me the entire time. And you can imagine how those went too, like father, daughter, coach, athlete. We would butt heads sometimes. He'd be like, "You're doing this?" I'm like, "I don't think I'm doing that." We would argue, but 99% of the time he was right looking back. But yeah, so that's how I got started in, and that's where I'm at now.